If you want to see the best Maya ruins in Mexico without 50 people in your shot or a tour guide rushing you along, you have to do Uxmal solo. This isn't just a day trip, it's an adventure. And today I'm showing you exactly how to pull it off. Uxmal is about 80 kilometers south of Mérida. To do this right, you'll need to head to the ADO TAME station in the Centro Histórico region. That's the second class terminal. Buses to Uxmal leave Mérida at 6 AM, 8 AM and 9 AM and return at 3 PM and 5 PM. Well, stick around and I'll show you an alternative way back. The 6 AM bus gets you to the site around 7:30 AM, and since the gates don't open until 8, take a packed breakfast. Tickets for foreigners cost 481 Mexican pesos plus an additional state fee of 100, which you pay at a second window. If you enter right at 8 AM, you will literally be the first ones on site. You start at the Pyramid of the Magician. Legend says it was built in one night by a dwarf, and it's unique because it's elliptical rather than square. The name Uxmal actually means thrice built in Mayan, but archaeologists have actually found 5 distinct stages of construction here. They didn't tear down the buildings, they just built newer, bigger ones on top of them. From here, head into the Nunnery quadrangle. This was likely a government palace. And because Uxmal is in the Puc Hills, there are no cenotes for water. The people here were entirely dependent on rainfall. That's why you see Chak, the rain god, everywhere. Look at these carvings. These represent Chak's nose. If his nose is turned up, they were praying for rain. If it's turned down, they were offering thanks for rain that had already come. One of the reasons Uxmal is a UNESCO World Heritage Site is the preservation of its writing. And when you look at these walls, you're looking at glyph blocks. Intact Maya writing. Your next stop will be the ball court, one of the most impressive we've seen in the Yucatan. The game pits was a high stakes ritual that sometimes ended in human sacrifice. Players had to keep a heavy, solid rubber ball in motion, using only their hips, elbows and knees, aiming to strike it through those incredibly small stone rings. From here, walk towards the House of Doves. This area is more shaded and has some trees, so it's a perfect spot for a refuel. The area is also teeming with spiny-tailed iguanas, so keep your eyes on the rocks. And then walk over towards the Grand Pyramid for an insane view over the jungle canopy. Next, head over to the House of Turtles. And if, like me, you're wondering why it's turtles and not tortoises, well, in Maya lore, turtles were the ultimate symbol of the Earth's thirst. They believed that during a drought, the turtles suffered just as much as humans and would cry out to the rain god Chak to open the heavens. The last spot in our DIY route of Uxmal is the Governor's Palace. This building is an astronomical masterpiece. It's over 300 feet long and contains over 350 Venus glyphs on its facade. If you stand in the central doorway of this palace and look towards the horizon, the building is perfectly aligned with the southernmost point where Venus rises. For the Maya, the movement of planets wasn't just science, it was a divine calendar. And if you're into wildlife and bird watching, do not forget to take your binoculars. We saw lots of wonderful wildlife here, including turquoise-browed motmots. Look for their orange bellies and little paddle tails flicking side to side, as well as woodpeckers, sapsuckers, Yucatan jays, orioles, kingbirds, and loads of swallows. By 11 AM, the temperature starts rising and the massive tour buses start rolling in. This is your cue to leave, and instead of waiting until 3 PM for the bus, walk back to the car park and look for the moto taxis, kind of like a little Mexican tuk-tuk. Negotiate a price, usually around 100 to 200 Mexican pesos, and they'll take you to the nearby town of Muna. Once there, you can grab a colectivo back to Mérida for about 45 Mexican pesos. They leave as soon as they're full, and it's much faster back than the bus. You'll be dropped off at Park San Juan, which is a beautiful spot in Mérida, also worth exploring. Seeing those massive tour groups arrive as we were leaving made us so glad we did it by ourselves. You get better photos, see more wildlife, and actually feel the magic of the place. If you found this guide helpful, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my blog at oceantojungle.com. Bye!